October 3rd.
He asked me what day it was.
I said it's October 3rd.
Welcome back, you guys.
To another podcast. Oh, another Another episode.
Of our podcast. Want some more fun.
Want to have more fun. And it's October 3rd, so we're wearing pink. All right. Do we want to do...
Let's do a little catch up.
Let's do a little catch up. Okay. What day is it even? Monday, yeah. It's October 3rd. No, I haven't done much because I didn't work last weekend because Kiara was here, and then I was supposed to work all this weekend. Didn't end up working all this weekend because of my back. And honestly, I feel like I don't know that much that's new.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Jada's coming.
That's
not this
exciting.
week, next week. So that's exciting.
Totally.
But like work-wise and stuff, I feel like nothing's
It's
that
such
new.
a, like, I'm so actually shocked that it's like there's a slow season in serving here.
I know.
Like, you know, I'm just shocked. There's lots of people and they eat out and like.
And like even the slow, well, it's been slow for most of the day, and then at the end of the night it's just like
Picks up.
fucking busy for the
Yeah.
last 2 hours, which is nice. It makes it go by quick, but
For sure.
you get in that like rhythm of being like chill at work, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden everyone comes in and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But no, work's been pretty good. I would like to be working more, but I feel like every fucking weekend something happens and I like work like one of my 3 shifts.
I know, I'm always like, take advantage of it when you can, like, you know, but then it's like, I take advantage of it in the wrong way, so.
Yeah.
But
no.
well, your back was tweaked.
It was literally
have to
fucked.
relax.
Even
Catch up
like
on sleep.
sitting like this, in between my shoulders is just like so tight, and every time I move my back, it's like cracking in different spots.
I went to Pilates last week for the first time. I love it. I ended up signing up for like 4 classes a month. I figured that was like good to start. Like I only get 2 days off a week, so I don't want to be like, they close at 7. Sometimes I don't get home till 7.
Yeah,
like,
you want to make sure you're like getting what you paid
exactly.
for.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just do the 4-day or like 4 classes a month, and then I can always like upgrade.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far love. I feel like it's something that I'll get like toned with quick, and like, but yeah,
I want to try.
Yeah, you should.
I want to find a spot here and like even just do like a little day pass or like walk in and see
exactly
how I feel about it.
Totally. Like, okay, so Club Pilates, they have one on the West End, I think, or kind of closer to there. They do a free intro class, so it's like 40 minutes. They walk you through, teach you about like the apparatus, and then you do like a little workout, and then that's when they're like, oh, if you can drop in, like Club Pilates is like $35 for a single drop in, or it's $118 for 4 classes a month.
Oh, okay.
So you do save a little bit of money that way, but yeah, even like, Kate, you have to buy grip socks. It was like $27 for 1 pair of grip socks. I was like, okay, Amazon, we're ordering off Amazon.
Yeah, and see, like, at least they do the intro, because I know when I was going to yoga, I was going to beginner classes, and I think I was going to beginner classes. I hope so, but like, I'm pretty sure it was. But even in the beginner classes, like, I can't see what you're doing every movement if I'm facing down, and they're not really talking through it, and so I'm like looking up, and so I'm breaking the whole point of it, and like I'm not working as hard because I'm like trying to see what everyone else is doing so I can do it. So like at least they do a little kind of like intro, so you know like movements, and like, so if they're saying do this, you're like, okay, I know what that is.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the time you're like on your back on the apparatus, so it's like you can see the instructor, and it's not like a full class. It's probably the same as like a yoga class, but yeah, so I did that. I'm into Pilates now, and last minute we went to Jack Harlow. The tickets were like $110. I was literally just gonna buy them, and then we ended up going with like another couple, and they were like, oh no, like let's buy it like a half an hour before the show starts. Like they drop half the price, and so we're like standing outside the Rogers Arena, and like we could not get 4 tickets in a row. Like I was like so frustrated because I'm such a planner. Like I like things ahead of time, like organized, and
like if I'm going there, I want to know that I have tickets before I go there.
Exactly. But anyways, it ended up working out. We actually had really good seats, and he's a really good performer live.
Really?
Like he was actually really, really good. So other than that, uploaded my first YouTube video. So thank you. Yeah.
Which will be linked below.
Oh, I know. And Jade's like, reposted it. I was like, oh my god. I think did your mom?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, oh my god. Like,
Yeah.
so much love. So honestly, yeah, that's all that's new in my life.
Well, I think we're gonna get into
Right into
our topic, which unfortunately we are doing again. Let's talk leaving hometowns. Should you leave your hometown, even if you move back, or even if you leave for like 6 months and travel?
Yeah.
I think we both agree that you should leave your hometown.
I totally agree.
100%.
Like, for so many reasons.
Even if you leave for 3 months and go back, like say if you went traveling for 3 months or went to a new city for 3 months, obviously it's like you can't really, I don't think you can just rent for 3 months. I think it's like 6 months. But even if you leave for 3 months and come back, it will change you in some way, change your life, and just like how you look at things, and just give you a whole new perspective. And also, depending if you go by yourself or with one person or whatever, like moving to a new city, especially a big city like for us, it was huge moving by yourself, because like when we first moved here, I think I was the only person you knew.
I knew one other person.
And one other person. And when I moved here, I knew one person. She, I guess technically, she's my cousin.
Okay.
We'll just go with that. But it's like marriage through marriage.
I know.
But so like that's the only person I knew here. And when I first moved here, I wasn't like hanging out with her or anything. I just knew that she lived here because she's older than me and everything like that. But I was literally just sitting here in my apartment like by myself for like the first month with like the bare minimum furniture and just like rain and
literally, I know.
No lights.
I moved in September, so it was like, I guess, yeah, like turning into fall. Like it was pretty. Like I was like, oh my god. But
yeah, I think I got here mid August because I started school in September. And so I got here a little bit before school.
Yeah.
And yeah, when, especially because we both live in the same building.
Yeah.
This fucking apartment.
But not at the same time.
No.
The second time.
The second time.
Not the first time.
Fuck, that would have been so much better.
I know.
But this apartment, I don't know why, they did not put any lights, like pot lights in the ceiling.
Not in your bedroom.
So the only place that has lights, there's a couple in the kitchen and the bathroom. Living room has no lights, none of that. So I had no clue. My first night here, I like went and got some furniture, got some little appliances and stuff like that. Did not think to buy lamps or lighting.
Well, I didn't either.
And that first night, my dad was here, he helped me move, and I'm sitting here and it's like starting to get dark, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn some lights on. There's literally no lights. So I sat in the fucking dark in my bedroom and on like a mattress that had like no bed frame. It was just a mattress on the fucking floor that I rented. And that was it. And so the next day I texted my dad, I'm like, we need to go pick up some lamps because there's switches to turn the lamps on, but there's no in-ceiling lights, which I think is
it's super weird.
It's bizarre. And there's this cap right here where it looks like they wanted to put a light in, but then they said, fuck you.
Well, that's the thing, like, yeah, you have nice light, like natural light, but yeah, in the dark, like, hello.
And when winter comes, and it's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so muted, like.
But it was definitely a dark
couple months.
Dark couple months, literally. But yeah, moving, you just like learn so much about yourself. 100%. And like especially like we moved from a small town to a big city, and it's funny because when I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, big city, so many people are like, this isn't big.
I know.
Have you been to Toronto? I'm like, girl, I'm from Grand Prairie, this is big, okay? Like driving across the fucking what is it, the Portman Bridge, like with all like the white pillars. I was just like, oh my god, like just like blown away with 100%. Like what the city that we were driving into. And and it was before, like we were just driving here to find a place to live. But when I moved here, I flew here, and so I had all my stuff just in my whole life fit in a fucking suitcase or two big suitcases. And that was all I had. And I rented furniture.
I don't remember being scared though. Like I was so excited. Like I was like,
so excited. Like, the only thing that I was upset about is because I was dating. I had a boyfriend when I moved here, and so like he dropped me off at the airport, and like leaving him at the airport, I was just like I was trying so hard, and then once I got past security and he wasn't there, I just like I was like crying in line secretly. I was just like. But that was it. Like I was excited to move here, and I was walking around every day and going and checking out like the seawall and the museums and just like doing things that I wouldn't normally do by myself. And I learned how to be by myself because up until then I lived at home because I moved here when I was 18.
Yeah.
So I hadn't even moved on my own. So like my first time moving on my own, I was moving to a whole fucking different city in a different province, which was like huge.
You're not like 2 hours away from anybody. Like you're literally 12, 13 hours and like
when Reagan went to school, it was in Edmonton, and so it was a 4.5 hour drive. You could do that in a day, go there and back.
Yeah. No, same. Like I moved. I bought most of my like house stuff, like all the little things, like cutlery and like utensils and stuff like that beforehand. I think we shipped like 7 boxes here, and they arrived the day that I arrived. But yeah, like all of my clothes and stuff, for the most part, were in boxes. But like brought a suitcase. My mom came with me. I didn't even check out the apartment before like even putting like a damage deposit down. Like it would just open up.
How did you even do that? Because when I moved here, I was on the phone and I seen it online, and I was like, okay, can I put, because there was the one that you moved into, they had it, and she wouldn't let me rent it.
Really?
Even like sending like my dad's credit, like all of that, like credit check, everything like that, she wouldn't let me rent it. She's like, well, I need to like meet you, have to do a walkthrough. And so that's why we had to drive from the lake to here. Oh, wow. And I remember my dad was pissed because it was like super last minute, and he's like, I thought you had this under control. I'm like, I thought so too, but then I didn't know I wasn't going to be able to, I had to go there. And I'm like, I don't, like, that's not easy to view. And so when we got here and we viewed it, then that one was gone, and it was only this one. And so then it was like even a bigger deal, because I'm like, fuck, that's like double.
Yeah.
But so they let you rent without even coming here?
Yeah. So like I remember Tim flew us down to like check out the school, because we had a walkthrough of the school. We were like gonna look at apartments, and it was kind of like, we laugh about it now because we were here I think for like 4 days, and like all we did was like walk around the city and like try new restaurants. Like we did our walkthrough with the school, and then I was like, oh, like I asked you where you lived, and so you said here, and so we walked by, and then we literally just got her card, and like we emailed her, and she had like nothing available at the time, but she said we can be in touch, and like I
maybe
said,
that's why, because she still got to meet you.
She didn't.
Oh
no, we took her card from and so I just said, I know that you guys have like residents within the building, because I know like Janelle that lives there, and so maybe that was why. But I remember like I filled out the application, I got denied, so like Tim had to be my co-signer. So I mean, I ended up getting the apartment, which was like awesome. But this was the only place I inquired about. Like we did get down a couple other numbers, but like didn't actually inquire. Like I was thinking about the buildings above Blanche, but they were like expensive, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be right beside my school. So like it was kind of funny, because we came here to like, we had to find a place for me to live, and like this was the first place. Inquired about it. I was back in GP. They finally got a hold of us, and so I actually had already put like like 1 month's worth of rent on the apartment before I even moved here. It was fun. It was good. But like moving away, I don't ever remember like being sad until my mom left. Like she was like, I remember like what it was like when I moved away, and like my mom got me set up, and then at that point you're just like excited, like you're excited to get things like moving on your own, and so
when you're getting the furniture and decorating,
it was just like so real. And so I don't think I was really sad until within a couple weeks after that was Thanksgiving, and so I didn't go home, and like my friends were getting together for like Friendsgiving, and so like the first couple holidays I went home for Christmas, but it was just like, it was lonely, but I went to school right away, so I was like meeting people, although like we didn't hang out a whole lot. Like it was still like I was meeting people, and that was like an exciting thing to keep me preoccupied. And like I said, I knew the one other person before you, so we got together. Actually, that 3 years ago today, we went to the revolving tower for dinner. Oh my God. So that was like my first big like outing here. And then so I hung out with him a bit, and then he like introduced me to other people, and that was kind of how it got going. But like I bought a one-way ticket, and I've never, like, people ask me sometimes,
I ain't
like,
looking back.
I ain't looking back. Like, I just don't see myself moving back home, and like my parents know that. And
I would never, I think the only way I would move back home is if I had to, for like some reason, like if I was like going to like take care of someone or something. But like other than that, I will visit for like a week max, and that's
willingly moving back.
Not willingly, exactly.
But I mean, within like, so on September 17th, a few weeks ago was my 3 years that I have officially been here, and so I mean, obviously it got a lot easier. You meet people, and now I'm on to like my second job, and stuff, but like in the 3 years I've never like been so independent and like so sure of like myself, and just like like moving away, you will learn so much about yourself, and like it's such a good thing, like it's such a blessing, and like
and you
I just like
feel
grew
refreshed.
you feel so refreshed. Like I love that. Like now I kind of run into people sometimes, but like still just like not knowing, and like just being who you want to be, like being free and open to dress the way you want, or like do the things you want. Like big cities just like have so many opportunities for you to just like,
and everything's more open and accepting, and exactly, with like how you dress or whatever you do for work and things like that. And it's like, especially moving from Grand Prairie, where it was such a
like closed-minded,
like everyone's so closed-minded, and so whenever you want to do something that like isn't the regular like work or fashion or whatever, it's all, people are like, what the fuck.
So
like even when I would dress up in to go out in Grand Prairie just for like dinner or something, everyone's like, oh, you're so dressed up, you're
like
so
why are you wearing heels?
I'm like what? Like, what do you mean I'm so dressed up? Like I'm literally going like this is casual.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love that. Like I love to dress up and go out. Don't do it enough though.
I know, that's why I'm excited. I'm like, we have a couple dress up days coming.
I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, but like seriously, move away from your hometown. I know it's so scary, and like it's just like something that's never gonna be like, well, I don't know, there is a right time I guess to move, but like for me, like making sure like finances were in order and stuff, like I had help, but like I planned at least for a year, like to move away, like to do such a big move and like an expensive move, but like
me too.
You will find your way, like you will find like where you're meant to be, and if that's like in your hometown, then that's fine, but like travel then, like travel, like you need to get out of like,
because then you don't even know, like you don't even know if you want to be somewhere else. And like for me, I knew that I didn't want to stay in Grand Prairie. I knew that from being
a young age.
A young age. And even my parents were like, oh, you're going to be in a city, or like my dad always told me that I'm not going to stay in Grand Prairie. And so I knew that I didn't want to live there. But like even now traveling here and living here, and then now I've traveled other places, and I'm like, oh my god, I would love to live here, or like try and live in the States, or like in LA or San Diego, or
I'd
like
love to live in LA.
Fucking like Palm Springs.
Right? Like I just like as far as going like just like the little shops and like different dinner places, and I mean like concerts happen here, and like just like cool events, like a couple,
there's just more opportunity for everything.
Like there's just it's kind of, it's like hard to describe like without you like experiencing it, and
I feel too, when you stay in the same hometown, depends on where you're from, I guess. If it's a small town, or if you grew up in a city, it's different. But like for us, I feel everyone you get stuck in like that certain way, and so that's why it does seem scary to move, because you're okay, I know all these people, I know every single road, or I know where I'm going, and just like things like that. I've really lived here for 5 years now, and I'm like, oh yeah, when people are like, where's this road? I'm like, oh, that's actually over there. And it's like the first year where I'm like, okay, I can actually be somewhat helpful with directions. But like things like that, people just get so stuck and comfortable, and and that's why they don't go anywhere. Is because they're like the fear of like letting them, holding them back. Fear of change, which I do have in like some aspects, but for the most part with like travel and like living and that kind of thing, I feel like I'm like pretty good with that. But I feel like that's the one thing that makes it tough for sure. And like I moved here, and I hadn't even, I think, like I came to Vancouver once, and I was like 10 or 11. It was with my mom and my stepdad, because he used to live here. And but like we just did like went to the cool like kid things, like aquarium and all that. And so like I didn't actually see Vancouver, and or that what I really
see it in a different way.
And so like I moved here literally not knowing. I was talking to my stepmom, and she told me about Blanche and everything, and I was like, that's what I want to do for school, so let's hope Vancouver is where it's at.
No, I know, same. Like I've been here for like 5 days, and then I just like moved to a brand new city. Like everything was new, but like I just like waking up in the morning, like going to bed at night, like I remember I was just like, I can't believe I live here. Like still to this day, I cannot believe I live here.
I know, sometimes I'm walking around, or like I look outside, and I'm just like,
what? Like it's just, I don't know.
And
I love it.
even I get like Facebook.
Everyone should experience it.
Yeah, experience travel, because if I was still living in Grand Prairie right now, I would be traveling.
I'd be backpacking all the time.
Yeah, because that's one thing that I still want to do. Like even Val, like, he's traveled freaking everywhere, which it's like a little bit easier in France because everything's so close in Europe, and like the flights and everything are easy and cheap. But I still want to do like more traveling, because I've done, like the most I've done was that road trip, and then other than that, it's just like random trips once a year or something. Yeah. But I want to sightsee.
I know.
I want to go more places
and like the older I get, I feel like I still like to like material things, but like maybe not as much. Like I want like to experience life, and like maybe that had something to do with like COVID, where I was like, oh my god, but like I want to travel. Like I want to just like see the world. Yeah,
I definitely, and it's funny because I know I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like looking at my purses and stuff, and I used to try like so hard, like literally spend all my money on like nice fucking things just to have a nice pair of shoes or a nice purse, which like I'm happy to have them now. I'm gonna keep them
forever.
And but now I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck anymore. And I think that was also too moving to a big city, because like everyone's in designer and all fashion and everything. And so when I started having my own money and not living with anyone, and it was just like no one was questioning what I'm doing with my money, and so maybe they should have, but
my dad still asks, he's like, how much you got in your savings? Like you'll never tell me the truth, will you?
Yeah, fuck. So, don't even ask.
Yeah, but hey, we like, to be fair, we live in one of like most expensive cities, so like I think I have a roof over my head, I have food, I have a job, I still like get to enjoy life and have a social life, so I think I'm doing pretty well for my age.
Me too. Yeah, I know. That was one thing, is so many people told me that like you're not gonna last a year there because it's so expensive, and I was just like, or when I tell my friends, oh, you should move here, or people say that they want to move here but it's too expensive, I'm like, if you really want to be somewhere, you can make it work. 100%. And also depends on what you do for work and everything like that. Maybe you don't live right downtown, but if you still want to move from Grand Prairie, like obviously everywhere's going to be more expensive than Grand Prairie. Like it's fucking Grand Prairie. Just move. Just do it. But
that's the thing though, it's like Edmonton and Calgary. Calgary has the most like it's work-life balance
housing
city.
And
you can, so I don't know, I feel like even like small steps like that, but like Calgary is a nice city. Like if I had to be in a city in Alberta, it would be Calgary.
I know, I said the same thing. Yeah, if I were to move from here within Canada, it'd probably be, if I stayed in BC, I'd probably go to like Kelowna or something, if I wanted to downsize whenever that happens. Or if I wanted to go back to Alberta, it would be Calgary for sure. But
even like, I don't know, just like now that I've lived in Vancouver for a few years, like it's not like I've been to every restaurant and done everything, but it's just like I'm familiar with the city now. Like I would be okay with like another move, like another change. Like, so I know.
On next episode, Janelle and Jordana move.
Right.
It's like it's like the Kardashian like spin-offs, and it's like Chloe and fucking
take Miami. Serious.
Oh
my god, no, we need to plan our little day trip or night trip to Seattle.
Yes, we do need to go to Seattle. That'll be so fun. And just like go to Target and and we can go to Trader Joe's. Yes, I want to go to Trader Joe's because I was with Val, and it was just quick, and so all these stores. I want to stop at Target, and he's okay. We'll stop outside of the city, and I'm like, that's the shitty one. I want to go to the big one. But we'll go and do some shopping. But you definitely have to move. Making friends, I feel like we should definitely.
Making friends
is hard.
Like, dude, it is hard.
Like, my best friend here is Jordana, who is from Grand Prairie. Like, she's not even from here, you know? I've met so many people, but it's all people at work where you seem to be really good friends at work, and then you don't work at the same place anymore, and then you stop talking, and it dies out. And like, I've met a lot of really nice and fun and cool people, and I still talk to them if I see them, or if I see them out, and
100%
stuff like that, but it's not people where you're just like a true friend, like someone you can confide in and you want to have over, things like that. That took a really long time, and I thought it was going to be easy because it was so easy for me to make friends growing up because I was super like out there, and oh my gosh, my face rolling, except for Val broke my little fucking gua sha or whatever the fuck it's called, my gua sha. But it was hard making friends. It took a long time, and even now, yeah, it's been 5 years, where also I care less about like how many friends I
Same.
have, and so I don't even care at this point.
Yeah.
But it's 5 years later, and my best friend is Jordana, who is not from here.
Yeah. No, I can literally relate. Like, yeah, I went to school. Obviously, I had something in common with those people, which was like going to fashion school. But like,
that's all you have.
outside of that, like, and we had none of this.
That was the same with me with school. I had
Yeah.
with Gracie and Michelle were like the only 2 people I hung out outside of school. And
Same. Like, I mean, I hung out with them, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I think we were just all in the same situation. Like, none of us really had like that friendship, and like none of us were working. So like, that's just like another way to meet friends. Like, it's like the only way really. Like, yeah, I was on Tinder meeting boys, but like I just didn't go on an app to like meet friends. Like, I was like go out and I'd meet a girl that night, and like we'd be friendly, exchange socials or something, but like it was never like, let's hang out again.
Yeah.
Like,
or like for me, every time I would go out, it was just like I wasn't even meeting girls, I was meeting guys at the bar, and it was just like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're really nice, like I would like to be friends with them. And then I'm like talking to my mom or friends, and they're like, yeah, but they are not trying to be friends with you.
Yeah, when I meet them at the bar, I mean, it's pretty hard.
That was a shitty thing. I'm like, all I'm meeting is dudes. I don't want to meet you.
Yeah, I know. That's like,
where's your girlfriend?
Serious. Like, but that's what I mean. Yeah, growing up too, and like now being here, and maybe it is because it's a little bit harder. Like, I mean, now I've met more genuine friends at Cactus than I have at my previous job, but yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, with getting older too, I'm like, I just don't care. I don't have that type of energy. Like, I'd rather have like you, where we actually like go out and like go for dinner and dress up, and it's like, you know, we actually are like sharing life together. Whereas like, I don't want to just like constantly be meeting new people and like explaining my life story and like,
over
you know what I mean?
over.
It's like you're a true friend. I don't know why when I hear that I think of like Miley Cyrus, like Hannah Montana. Yeah, so friendships is hard, but I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not an outgoing person either. Like, everyone I've met, like, I've gotten along with. It's just not like a super tight friendship.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm glad I have you. Like, I think it would definitely, Vancouver would be so different for me if I didn't have you.
Yeah, no, it makes a huge difference just having like one person to go do stuff with. And yeah, it's nice like going out, and okay, if like all the parlor girls are going out, we're gonna have a good time. But so it's just nice. Like, it is kind of nice having like the difference. Yeah. But
I'm sick of you.
Bye.
Just joking. But yeah, like I went to Habbo with Emily and Becca. I work with them, and like obviously it takes time for like new friendships to build. Like I feel like you have to be a bit more consistent, but like I click with them. Like I click with them really well, and I feel like we're like newbie friends, you know. But
the newbie friends, the friend zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of clicky, to be honest. Like, I feel like when you just go to cities, like, it's kind of clicky.
It is. It totally is. And, like, people who grew up here, they grew up here with their other friends that are still here. And it is very clicky.
It would be like us. Like, it would be like someone new moving to GP, and we're, like, all a big group of friends. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sure it's hard for people like that, too. But
yeah. It's just weird when it's, like, you're the new person.
Yeah,
like, before you never really think about it.
I hate being the new person, like, at school or, like, jobs, like that's
I hate being the new person.
Only because I feel like all eyes are on you, like, and yeah, I just like I guess don't really want to like make mistakes.
And I just think about people like fucking with you. Like when I first started at, it was like I was only a couple weeks in, but it was my first back room party, and one of the owners was there, and he's like, okay, you just have to, he's like, can you just clean that mirror in the back? It looks like it hasn't been cleaned in like months. And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And then I get up to the mirror itself, and it's like a dual mirror where it's like has an outside and then a mirror inside it, and the mirror inside has like, it's like rust or like it's supposed to look aged.
Like yeah.
And so I get up to the mirror, I'm like, hey, is he fucking with me, or does he actually want me to clean this mirror?
Yeah,
like, does he mean like the mirror itself still needs to be wiped down, or is he fucking with me right now? So I'm wiping it, and I'm like, I'm like looking around, I'm like, is this real? Like, I'm like,
so embarrassing.
Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it anyways. I feel like that's more in like the oil field that people fuck with you, and like when you're a newbie, like not so much in a restaurant, but I'm aware.
Yeah.
Like I was making sure no one was.
I was aware, but I still cleaned that mirror though.
Yeah. I didn't want to not do it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's tough, but you like that. Like I said, you'll find your way, and like. You know,
always will.
You always will in life.
It's always scary to do moves and stuff
and
like
the thing
that,
is too, like, yeah, my family's not here, but they're always like someone I fall back on. And honestly, I feel like since moving, my relationship with my parents have become like 10 times stronger. Like,
yeah, well, because you're like more connected. Like I FaceTime my mom. Obviously, I was living with my mom.
Yeah.
And so I would see her every day. But like now we're like FaceTiming or calling every day, and just like you have like full-on catch-ups where it's not just, oh,
hey,
do
go into
this,
your room.
this. Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, what were you doing, or how's this, and like it's legit like genuine conversations.
Like I remember when I
and
first
catch-ups.
moved here, I would call my mom for everything. Like, how do I do this? Or like, where do I get that? Or like, what do you use? Like,
Yeah.
just little things like that. And so,
I know. I will send my mom a picture. I'm like, how do I get this stain out of? And she's like, well, what's the fabric? What is it? What's that? I'm just like, help me.
I know.
Even now, sometimes, but yeah, it just feels really good and refreshing. And like, I know I even look outside, and today it's October fucking 3rd,
And it's still like
beautiful.
24 degrees. Like honestly, it's just like, and the fact that we even have fall here, like fall is a season here.
Yeah.
We get like a few months of fall. Like,
We get fall. It's beautiful. The leaves. Oh my god. You
Oh.
can still just wear like a cute little overlay jacket. That was one thing I was
100%,
like,
the
I
fashion.
can fashion fall fashion
Girl.
because in Grand Prairie it's winter, summer, and here you get all 4 seasons, baby.
So dating apps, meeting boys in a new city.
Yeah, boys or girls, depends on what
Depends
you're
on-
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not on, the only app I ever went on was Seeking Arrangements, and that was
Oh,
when
I
I
tried
first moved here. Hated it because I'm like, I don't want to do anything with you.
I just want-
Or like, the thing is like, I'll do something with you, but I wanted it to be, I need to still find you attractive.
Yeah.
And it was either they were very unattractive and were wanting to pay big, but also you like had to sleep with them, or it was just like a super attractive guy and no like payment or anything. It was like, oh, I'll just take you out for dinner and pay for dinner. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
like, I
that's
can
a
get that
date.
from anybody.
So a date.
Yeah. I'm actually doing something different here. Like I need something different.
Yeah.
For me, not just like a date.
And so like I met some people on there, which like I still have on Instagram, just like some like business guys that I
Yeah.
don't talk to anymore, but that was the only app or anything I ever used. And then I was going to the bars a lot, so I was meeting
Yeah.
people, and I also wasn't looking to date either at first. So like my first year here, I was in a relationship.
Yeah.
Which
We regret.
that's my only regret.
We regret that.
Okay. Usually I'm like, I don't have any regrets in life. I regret not breaking up with my ex before moving here because I
Yeah.
lived here for a fucking year and was dating someone who didn't even live here or visit.
Or visit,
and it was
yeah.
fucking useless.
Yeah.
But
Savage.
like fuck.
Okay, Regina.
You can't sit with us. But no, it was easy to meet people out in bars just because I was like using that as like a social aspect, and that's why when I took a year off from after high school before moving here,
Yeah.
because otherwise I would have been here. I
At
would have moved here when
17.
I was 17, and
Yeah.
I would have been not even legal for a whole
2 years.
2 years. Like
Yeah.
fuck that. And so I was here for like a month, not legal. Once I could go out, that's when I was meeting people. And I was meeting a lot of like good friends because that's when it was like the warehouse crew, and it was like the original
Oh,
warehouse
geez.
crew, and so it was actually like good people,
Mhm.
and that's just where I was spending my time. But I wasn't really looking to date, so
It was, but it's like when you're not looking to date, it's
That's
like
when-
the funnest.
I know.
Like, okay, I'm not saying I'm not having fun now, but like,
yeah,
it's just fun because there's like no, you know, it's like you're just living life. You're doing your thing. You do what you
Exactly.
want to do. Like, you
Yeah.
want to go for dinner here, dinner there, different guy
Yeah.
here. Like, yeah, that's how I was anyway.
yeah. Fuck. I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've tried Seeking Arrangements, or was it Seeking Arrangements or like sugardaddybaby.com, whatever. But yeah, like same thing. I was just like, I have no problem talking to these people, but like I can't be like physical with you if I don't find you attractive. And like 9.999% was like
Unattractive.
non-attractive. And so I was like, I can't do this. Like,
Unattractive.
I just can't. But yeah, so Seeking didn't work out for me. Never like truly met anybody on there. Did not get any money. So that ended real quick.
Did not get any money.
Like, come on, let's be real. That was like the reason why I was on there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not working. Like
Yeah,
I'm
new city,
in a
I'm
new
like,
city.
oh,
Like
shit.
wine and dine me, fucking dress me up. Like let's go. But yeah, no, that didn't happen for me, which was funny because when I first moved here, people were like, same thing, kind of doubting me, and like this rumor ran around that I was like an escort, like I was like escorting here, like that's how I could afford to live here. Never did that, girl. Never did that.
My sister thought I was selling drugs because I fucking bought like Louboutins.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, what?
That's so funny. But yeah, so then I shortly after made the decision to go on Tinder, which I never ever had in GP before. Like, ew, why would you? Anyways, so
everyone you literally know, you're like, no.
Yeah, like you slept with someone I know, like next. But yeah, so I downloaded it here and had fun. Like I had fun. I only met like a couple people off of there. Yeah, it was fun. Like went for dinner. Like the one time we got like picked up in a limo and like
there's
I don't know, just
so
like
many more options.
Like yeah, so like dates are fun here. You know what I'm saying? So,
more to do, more options for the dates themselves.
Yeah,
the
and the thing is like these people are all new. Like I've never met these people before. Like and I feel like the one guy that I was talking to for a little while, he was like intrigued that like none of his friends knew who I was. You know what I mean? Like I was new for him too, and so
yeah. No, it makes it more exciting. It's just like again like a new like a refresh or restart. No one knows who you are. You can say like obviously not like lie about yourself, but like when you grow up in a hometown and everyone knows all your business.
Yeah.
Now you can like choose what you're telling and what you're sharing and when, and so it's not just like, oh, I heard about you and I heard that you were a fucking crazy person in high school and or a slut or whatever, and it's like, okay, that was me in high school. Like you don't have that people knowing your background. Yeah. You get to actually share it and like reintroduce yourself basically.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it was fun, it was cool. And then yeah, that's all. I've never been on any other dating app, but yeah, you obviously meet people when you go out, but like I don't think I ever went home with someone that I met at the bar. Like it was just like a couple of people that I had met through on Tinder.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I went home with one person from the bar, and
I'm trying to think of like, did I?
And it was my boyfriend.
I don't think I ever did. Actually, this one time we went to D6, and the guy that I knew here previous, like to moving here, we went out there with him, and like they had a table, and this other guy was there. Yeah. And so he was there with this girl, and a bunch of girls were like trying to sit at our table. It was so funny, like, oh, bottle service, like blah blah blah. And so anyways, this guy was with this girl, and they were like hitting on other girls because they were like swingers. And so I was like, they were like hitting on me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so weird. Like people also do that in a big city. Yeah. Yeah. So
I feel like a lot of people are swingers that you like don't think about.
You would never think.
Like I feel like, I don't know, teachers and shit. Like
yeah, right.
I feel like
what
teachers
the fuck are you doing on the weekend?
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like they are the real MVPs. Like they have to go teach kids all day, all week, and then on the weekends they like turn up and still show up on Monday. Like you would never know.
But yeah, shit goes on.
They can't take sick days like we do. So yeah, I don't know. I know other people that have tried like Hinge and stuff like that, and I feel like it's not as exciting.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been like, well, I guess I've never really been single long enough to be on a dating app.
Yeah. It's also kind of scary too, though. Like I remember I was kind of nervous to tell my mom. Like she was just like, what? Like you don't know these people.
That was even like the one date I went on when he was like, I met him in person out at a bar, and we went on a date like the week later or something. And I thought we were just gonna meet somewhere, and he's like, oh, I can pick you up. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I really shouldn't do this, and I shouldn't get in this vehicle because I only met him once, and it was at like a nightclub, and we just exchanged numbers. Yeah. And it ended up being fine, but I like told everyone, okay, I'm going on a date with this guy, and like we're in his car and all this, because I thought we were just gonna meet up somewhere in public, and we ended up going in the vehicle. And especially now, like, oh my god, I don't think now, like, I'd be terrified.
Yeah,
especially like I feel like there's like so much shit going on, and like people getting taken and
I know,
attacked, and it is scary.
Like sold into the sex ring and stuff like that. Like that was my mom's like biggest thing. Well, because when I first moved here, we went to Joe Forte's, and we were sitting at the bar, and there was this like other couple across from the bar, and they were like waving at us, and it was like we got like the like weird vibes from it, right? And so there was another couple sitting beside us. They were totally fine. The people across from us, they were like drinking. This girl was like missing her teeth, but she kind of looked like put together. And they came over and I went for a smoke outside, and then when I came back, I think it was the guy that was talking to my mom, and I was like, oh fuck, and like we couldn't really get him away, but like we caught them in multiple lies, like, oh, like I was like, we were saying how like we were from Alberta, and they're like, oh, we'd love to go to the Rockies, and I was like, yeah, I've snowboarded there lots, and they're like, oh yeah, we used to go every winter, like just little things like that, like that we were catching, and it was so bizarre. So like when we left, the girl comes running around the corner, and she gave us a piece of paper like, oh, we're gonna be at this hotel if you guys want to come by. And they were old, like she was saying like she was the flight attendant, or flight attendant, he was the pilot. My mom was like, as if you're a flight attendant, you have no fucking teeth, like. And so it was just like really weird. And that was when I first moved here, like my mom was getting me set up, and she was like, I can't believe I'm leaving you in this city, like please make smart choices. And so
I know my dad was a little worried too, and just like not even with that like as a main thing, but just like safety overall, like walking around and stuff. I know I've had a couple weird, not like, there's one incident where I like felt really weird about it, and it was, I was leaving work, and it was when I worked on Granville, and this guy, it was like a little group of friends, and like they were just like a couple years older than me, and or maybe a little bit more, but he like grabbed my hand, and he's like, oh, where are you going? And I was like, oh, like I'm going home. And or no, I didn't say going home, I was like, I'm leaving work for the night or whatever. And he's like, oh, well, come drink with us, whatever. And then his friend comes over, and it's a girl, and they were just like saying like how attractive I am, and like asking if I thought like they were attractive. It was just like a weird thing.
Yeah, like who asked
and
that?
He was like wanting to like show me to her. And so I'm like, okay, either this is like a swinger thing, or this is some weird like you're gonna try and like fucking take me and like sell me, because girls, like, you don't have to just look out for guys. Like, girls are involved in that, and they're the ones who make you feel safe, and then they fucking take you.
Yeah, no, exactly. So,
but so dating in like, I feel like dating in a new city, it's fun, but also can be like a little bit scary, because you don't know
these people.
You don't know the people. You don't know the city itself.
There's no,
you don't know the areas.
Yeah.
And so like you don't know, am I going into a sketchy area, or like things like that, or if something does happen, to even like say where you were. But I feel like that's anywhere you have to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Sure. But just like going to somewhere new that you're not familiar with. Like, so yeah. Anyways, I've had a few fun dating situations here, but yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, I wish I had more, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah, I think that wraps it up. If you are stuck in your hometown, or not stuck, but if you feel like you want to go out and adventure but you're kind of scared, do it. Honestly, just do it. Save up for a year, save up for 6 months to go just like travel somewhere, try a new city, meet a couple people, go move just like 5 hours away or something. Just try something.
Like, your house will always be like a place you can fall back on.
Yeah.
My parents have always said, no matter what, like no matter how old you are, you can always come back. Like,
exactly. Like
reset, whatever. You know?
But definitely get out there and move away.
Experience life. Life is too short.
Like, I thought that I had a good life in GP. I moved here, and I was like, holy shit. Like, even now, I'm still like, sometimes I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not living life. But then I think back, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not in GP. I'm in like this nice big city, working on careers and stuff like that. And so definitely move away from your hometown for sure. Even if you go back,
you can say you did it.
Like you just get out of there for a little bit.
Do something, do a course, like, just travel, like do something that, you know, you gain from, I guess.
Exactly. And I feel like anything you do, just like moving away, even if it's travel, whatever, like you'll gain from it.
For sure.
And you like find out a lot about yourself, which is huge. And then that could take you to like a whole other place.
And you never know, you might meet someone along that journey that, you know, can like provide you with like a job offer, or like, you know, a business venture. Like, you just never know. And if you kind of are just like comfortable in your life, I mean, some people are comfortable doing that, but like, if you have that feeling that you want to do it, like, listen to it and just do it.
Yeah, definitely do it for sure. And that's another thing with like big cities and small cities, I feel. Like, the amount of opportunity that sometimes I'll look back and I'm like, man, I should have taken that. The amount of opportunities I've gotten living here is actually crazy. And like, it was when I was going to school, a lot of them was when I was going to school, so I turned them down because I'm like, I need to focus on this. And now I'm like, oh, if that was coming at a different time, that would have been so good. And so like, you don't even have to be looking for it, but just like travel
come to you.
And like opportunities come to you. So it's a huge thing in like so many factors to leave your hometown, I feel.
For sure.
But
so many. It's exciting, you guys. It totally is.
come live with us in the same city.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we will see you next week, guys. Also, make sure to start sending in questions, confessions, anything like that to assumptions to our, we'll repost the anonymous link on our podcast Instagram. Like
Our Instagram podcast.
My brain's
Yeah.
because episode 10, it's gonna be all questions and confessions and everything coming from you. It's just gonna be like a whole episode on that. We're gonna have a couple little drinks and just have a nice chill episode. So start sending that in, and we will see you guys in the next one. Oh.
Cut.
Oh. Bam. Bam, bam, bam.